try to do it in a relaxing setting. So if that's something you're into, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment down below what game you are looking forward to the most, and who do you think is going to win the World Series? Let's put that out there, because I am going to do an MLB like bracket prediction video. I think I'll probably pick the Brewers because that's just where my heart is. It would be a really great story in the end. Euchre, my grandma, not that the Brewers organization knows about my grandma, but you know, it'd be a really great story. So anyway, let's get into this. We have a Thursday night game, which is the Seahawks and the Cardinals. I think they are playing in Arizona. The Seahawks are favored by 1.5. I'm interested to watch Trey Benson. He's gonna have the full starting responsibilities as a running back. I really think Marvin Harrison Jr. needs to maybe stop dropping the ball. It's an issue, it seems, across the board for him, but once it all clicks, I think that Arizona will be fine. I'm also interested to watch Sam Darnold. I haven't really gotten to see him in with the Seahawks, so that'll be interesting. I am going to take the Seahawks. I think that they're just a slightly better team, but you know, you never know. I'm going to take the Packers off of, well, it's not, so just so you know, because I have the Packers on notification, they are the top team here, even though they play Sunday night. I am going to talk about that right now. They probably, from like all videos, they're usually them and Alabama are the two teams that like I'll talk about pretty early on. So the big storyline here is that Micah Parsons is going back to Dallas. But I think there's like a sub-story here. I mean, Kenny Clark has some, not grievances, but that could be a storyline too. You know, I don't know if the Packers played like they did against Cleveland, that they will beat the Cowboys, but then again, you look at the Bears who just beat the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys have a lot more holes than Jerry Jones wants to realize. If Dak is on his game, that's great, but now you don't have CeeDee Lamb. Your running game is a little not out of sorts, but there's not like somebody that makes you nervous. And then I think their starting left guard or right guard, Tyler Booker, is going to be out for the game, so that's a big issue. And then on the Packers, their offensive line is going to be an issue. I'm not sure if Zach Tom is healthy. They're going to need to establish early. The Packers play better, just like every team. As a Packer fan and knowing their history, like they play better when they get ahead. Playing from behind for the Packers is not always a great thing. It's not a great thing for any team, but especially that team. I think Micah Parsons is going to be fired up. I think that defense is going to be fired up. They're going to want that win for him. Jordan Love, I think once Jordan and Matthew Golden get on that page, it's going to be a different story. Right now, they're still feeling each other out. And I think Tucker Kraft will probably play a little bit more of an impact in this game. I know he was injured last week. Josh Jacobs, they'll probably rely on him a little bit more, but I think the Cowboys' run defense is definitely a lot better with Kenny Clark there, so we'll see. I am going to take the Packers. That might be a homer pick, but they are favored by 6.5. It's going to be a storyline all week long, so yeah. We do have our first international, well, not our first international game, because the Chiefs played in Brazil, so we have our second international game, but our first early game. So the Vikings and the Steelers play in Dublin at 9:30 a.m. How awesome would it have been if it was the Packers and the Steelers playing in Dublin? That would have been like lights out ratings. Like, it would have been great. So great. But we have the Vikings and the Steelers. The Vikings are favored by 2.5. the Steelers might surprise everybody. I mean, Rodgers is always wanting to beat the Vikings, the Bears, and the Lions. So I think it'll be interesting. I think the Steelers win, but not by a lot. And it's also an international game, so like you're starting at 9:30 in the morning here. I don't know when they go over there, so that all plays a big role. I think Justin Jefferson for the Vikings needs to be a little bit more involved. Not that he's not, I just think it's Justin Jefferson, so you're expecting a lot more from him. And then you have DJ Hawkinson, who has been good. But yeah, I'm gonna take the Steelers. And then we have the Chargers and the Giants. To start the 1 o'clock games, I think Jackson Dart is starting, so it will be interesting to see how they use him, what happens. I don't expect a lot from him. He could surprise me, but I don't believe that I'm gonna expect like too much from him. Justin Herbert is lights out right now. The Chargers seem to be like a juggernaut. They are firing on all cylinders, each side of the ball. Seems to be working well with them. I am going to take the Chargers. The Giants will be interesting. You gotta see what you have in Jackson Dart. You probably aren't gonna be great this year, so you're gonna have to see, is he the guy? And now is a great time to do it. Russell Wilson isn't showing anything. You're not getting anywhere with them. But you know, I would like to see the Giants win. It would be really great, but I think the Chargers win. The Titans and the Texans. I mean, that just like doesn't, like when you're thinking of like sexy matchups, that's like you're like, I could probably pass on that game. I'm sorry to any Tennessee Titans fan or Houston Texans fan, but like you got two 0-3 teams. Houston is favored by 7.5. I do believe that they will win. I am just looking to see Cam Ward build on everything that he does. That's all. We have the Commanders at the Falcons. If Jaden Daniels plays, I think that they win. The Falcons have to do better than what they did last week, which was at least score. But I don't know. I mean, I think the Commanders are going to go into Mercedes-Benz and win, and everybody will start thinking, is Michael Penix the guy? I haven't watched enough Falcons. Now, when I lived in Atlanta, I was immersed in the Falcons. I worked with the stadium, so I was there and I got to see everything. So now that I'm a little removed from it, I don't know as much about them. But I do believe like they have a foundation. They just have to keep building. But I'm gonna take the Commanders. The Saints and the Bills. Buffalo is favored by 16.5, and I think they'll win. I don't necessarily need to talk about it. I mean, I would love to see the Saints do something. It's like you want them to do something. But they might be another one to just be like, let's see what the rookie has to do. Maybe a sign of life. This is probably going to be the game that I am the most interested in outside of the Packer game, which is the Eagles and the Buccaneers. You have two 3-0 teams. The Eagles are coming to Tampa. They're both really good right now. Baker is great. The Eagles always just seem to find a way to win and to just irritate people. I think that's the biggest game that I'm interested in. I am going to take the Eagles over the Buccaneers. And I do that by saying, like, you know, last week I thought they were down and out, and they ended up finding a way to win. Good teams find a way to win. And the Buccaneers did the same thing. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. And it's going to come down to the last few seconds where I think the Eagles win. You have the Browns and the Lions. Now, I would actually, prior to last week, say, like, this game will be a blowout. But the Browns actually, I think they're better than what people think. Defense wins championships, and they have the best defense in the NFL. Now, the Lions looked really good against the Ravens, like closer than what we think, but I think that the Lions win by, I would say, at least a field goal. At least a field goal. The Panthers and the Patriots. Somebody did comment, because on my last video, that I didn't watch the Patriots game, and they said that the Patriots beat themselves. So I think in this matchup, I think New England wins. The Panthers are doing better, looking good. So maybe I think here the home field advantage is gonna play a role. So with that, I'll take the Patriots. The Jaguars and the 49ers. It'll be interesting. I don't know if it'll be interesting. I'm interested to see if Brock Purdy comes back, but Mac Jones has been doing great, or doing things. He's winning games for them, and that's all you can ask for a backup. I think when Trevor Lawrence and Travis Hunter figure it out, it'll be something there. Until then, I mean, the 49ers defense is usually pretty solid. I'm still going to take the 49ers here, but I could see the Jaguars maybe squeaking out a win here. The Colts and the Rams. That is an interesting game. I think at the 4 o'clocks, that might be the game that I would like to watch. Danny Dimes is out there looking like Aaron Rodgers, and the Rams are just consistent. The Rams are favored by 3.5 points, and that's really just because they're playing at home. To the Colts, fall from grace. We'll see. At this point in time, I think I'm going to take the Colts. Their defense is pretty legit, and Danny has the weapons, so I'm going to take the Colts on an upset here. Not really an upset, but so then we have the Ravens and the Chiefs. This will probably be one of those shootout games. Again, I don't think the defenses on either side of the ball are great. The Ravens are actually favored by 2.5, according to ESPN, but they're playing the Chiefs. I think the Ravens bounce back. I actually don't believe the Chiefs are as good as everybody wants them to be. I think they are what they are, and Patrick Mahomes needs help. I think Travis Kelce is just older now. Their defense is not. I mean, they played the Giants last week, so the defense looked better. But I mean, when you're playing Lamar, I don't know. I think it'll be one of those who has the ball last, and I'm gonna say the Ravens win this one. Sunday's Bears-Raiders game. The Chicago is favored by 1.5 points. I mean, the Bears can put some points up, and I don't know if the Raiders can keep following that. I think this is a game where Genty breaks out, though. Mark it. Genty's been close, and I really want him to break out, and I think this is gonna be the game. So I'm gonna take the Bears, but I think it'll be close. And it's just because of what they did to the Cowboys last week. They just annihilated them. So I'm going to take the Bears here. Now, on Monday night's games, I read a meme about Monday night's games, and they're like, if you still have plans, keep them. We have the Jets and the Dolphins, two 0-3 teams. I do want to say Miami is favored, but that's just because they're at home. I don't know how long you can keep if Miami loses. I don't know how long you can keep the coach there. It's gonna be like, it's an in-house issue here. It's also a Tua issue. Tua is not great, and trust me, that hurts my heart. I am, though, going to take the Dolphins to beat the Jets, but Garrett Wilson will score at least one touchdown. Especially if Tyrod Taylor is the quarterback. I think Tyrod Taylor is slightly better than Justin Fields. Tyrod Taylor has been in the league long enough to know that he can produce as a backup, and I really do think that if the Jets have Tyrod in, they might biggest reason was I have 2 running backs that have a week 8 bye, and in my league there's no running backs available, so I needed to keep JK, but I think JK might have a decent chance at having a good game here, and I do think the Broncos win by at least 7. So that's what I have for you guys this week. Let me know what you think. I know you guys will let me know in the comments. I know that you will tell me whether you think I'm wrong or right, or agree or disagree. One day I'll pick against the Packers, but it wasn't this week.